Hey YouTube, this is KP with KP Details. This is the part 2 of doing the ceramic coating for this Nissan 370Z Nismo. At this point in the process, I am claying the roof. The car had, when I washed it a few weeks prior, I did 3 different rounds of iron decontamination on it. It was especially bad in the back, so made sure that did a thorough claying on this one. I was using the Adams Ultrafine Clay. Comes in the little jars, the white version. And then I was using Chemical Guys Clay Luber. The client made sure that she told me about this area right here that she wasn't quite sure what happened to it. Some of it was a ding, but you can see I got out a good portion of it. And then the Z symbol on the left hand side of it right here had some maybe some kind of chemical damage to it that another detailer had done, and she just wanted to make sure that I took a look at that. So this was a little bit of my pet project to try to get this done correctly. You can see here I clayed it, and I clayed it for quite some time because this video is sped up to 400% and I could still feel it underneath my gloves, which is why I went back on it, and it stuck. So I don't know if they had some sort of a clear coat over this or what was going on, but wanted to get up whatever chemical it was that the other detailer had used, and as you can see, it came out pretty well with the claying, and made sure to wipe it up as I was continuing around. The next spot I noticed, so of course after I clayed the entire vehicle, door jambs and all inside the gas cap, around the trunk, made sure everything there was clayed. I was polishing this section and realized that there was a little bit of transfer that was on the clear. You can see the clear doesn't have much pop to it as of right now, even though the vehicle is clean and decontaminated. So we've got a couple of little scuff marks throughout, and this area I am using the Turtle Wax One and Done compound with a black pad from Lake Country, so it's on the 5-inch, and this is the Torque X dual action polisher, which is sold through Chemical Guys. Has a short throw, 8mm throw, so you're not really going to get yourself in trouble. So this is the first 5-inch polisher that I purchased when I started really pursuing whether or not I wanted to do detailing just on my own vehicles. And so this is the one that I used for the majority of the car. There were some areas that I had to get in with the 3-inch, and then there's some areas that I actually just had to polish it by hand, like where the Z symbol was, in the door jamb, in the gas tank cover area. Made sure to do those by hand. Hopefully in the future, I'm looking at the Hex Nano as a polisher. That'll be just a little 1-inch rotary. So the cleanup on this is you do have to use 2 towels. Here's the wet towel that I use for the initial wipe off, and then the second dry towel is what really takes the rest of the polish off of the surface. So now that you can see, I come in closer. There's just so much. I didn't really know with this vehicle that it had that little metal fleck going on, but as you can see, it does. The black finishing pad with the Turtle Wax One and Done compound is what I did throughout this vehicle, and it turned out great. It gave the car a whole new depth and a whole new definition that I didn't know that it had. So after I finished up with the polishing, then I went through with the Chemical Guys Wipeout, which is their panel prep. Make sure that all the chemicals were off the car so that I could prepare it for coating, and so that you could actually get a good bond from the ceramic coat that I'll be using with the clear coat on the vehicle. And as you can see, I wiped under the door jambs. I'm trying to make sure that this car looks as good as it can for the rest of its life. So I'm using the ASP Metal Oxide coating for this vehicle. And I do love this coating. This is the second version. So these are the ones that came out in the glass bottle. He had a first version that was in the metal bottles. So these little microfiber cubes that I'm using, love these things. I don't even remember where I bought them. I have just a few left, but there's a 12 pack that you can buy off of Amazon that looks just like the same thing, but it's in gray. I love them because you can get in these little small intricate areas like the gas can cover, and it gets in there real well. I love it for the wheels, I love it for door jambs, and I love it for if I leave it at its biggest surface area. I love it for coating the cars to the rest of the car. So this is my buddy John. After I went through with the gas tank, for some strange reason I didn't really video a lot of our coating it for whatever reason. He's going through and he was asking me whether or not I did the gas tank cover. I said yes, I did. So first wipe off is just a light wipe off. Once it has, I've noticed with this polishing it does like a sweating. So once it's sweat and or it's given that rainbow haze, wipe it off, light wipe, and then buff it afterwards with a second cloth. And I'm using the Rag Company. It's their pearl weave that's specifically made for leveling coating. And I love this. I wish it came in different colors. All I was able to find at that time was the orange version. But man, I love the pearl weave for really just about anything I'm doing with the car nowadays. So this is the final product. You can see on the right hand side, that's what the Z symbol for the door jamb on the right looks like. The car actually looks wet with the ASP Metal Oxide coating. And then the next day after I did the coating on her car, I did it with, or I used the topper of the Rehydra sheet. So great hydrophobic properties with this. I love it. If you are interested in getting your car ceramic coated, please feel free to reach out to me at info@kpdetails.com. And please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and share.